A lot of us, myself included, have been taking things apart our whole lives. Fewer of you are able to put them back together again, and even fewer still can work the black magic and somehow make them better than they were. Michael Edmunds, automotive instructor at East Syracuse Minoa Central High School and mentor of the school's Spartan Garage Car Club, the skill to do that has been in him since the beginning. Now, he's able to share it with his students and his community. Welcome back to Tomorrow's Technician and the 2024-2025 Instructor of the Year, presented by Blaster Corporation in association with the North American Council of Automotive Teachers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Doug Kaufman with Tomorrow's Technician, and I have another great instructor to introduce to you today. After graduating from the same school where he works now and gaining his bachelor's degree in business and automotive administration, Michael Edmunds began gaining real-world automotive experience at dealerships and shops. Soon, the chance to come back to East Syracuse in New York opened up and he returned to his roots. Let's hear Mike's story right from him.
It all started out back in when I was like 16. Would always help Dad working on cars. Then it kind of moved on to I would work in a couple auto shops such as Sears and whatnot, gain the experience, and went to SUNY Morrisville for automotive and business management. Got my 4-year degree from there, and then I went to an internship down in North Carolina where I worked at Leith Toyota and learned the ins and outs of the dealership and whatnot, and then kind of moved back home and started at Burdick Toyota. I went through automotive here at East Syracuse Minoa Central High School and was graduating in 2004. So I was in this very classroom, and believe it or not, found a picture of me sitting right up there back when I was 16. Crazy to find that in here. I really have a strong feeling about like safety, making sure students are safe working on the cars, but not only when they work on the cars, they have to understand the safety of the customer taking, or in our case, our staff and family and friends that we work on their vehicles here. That safety is a huge key with taking pride in what you do, finish it, make sure the wheels are on, just making sure everyone's safe. How we demonstrate that, we basically have a small shop that we put snow tires on, we change oil, we do maintenance, and we also have the raffle that we do every year where students in the auto club get to restore a car, and somebody wins that car, and that car has to be driven, it has to be safe. So the product that we put out there demonstrates, stuff being complete, being safe. I would say it changed hugely only due to the fact that when I first was hired, we were in a hybrid mode when we started COVID. So just like I'm sitting here in this interview with a tripod with an iPhone was where my iPhone was with an earbud, trying to follow along with half of the kids that were here in the classroom underneath that very lift there, trying to explain, whatever the topic was or the objective of that day was, both at home and for the students that were in here. And obviously we were brought out of the hybrid mode into all students were in the building, and social distancing wise it was kind of tough in here because we're in the lab and I'm trying to show something, kids are working together, and then now we're sort of back to, we call it like the new norm. The program was started basically the year after I graduated, and we tie that into anything that if we're working on that system, up here in the classroom, then I can tie in the project car, and the benefit to that is that car usually is stripped down, everything's taken off of it, and like rebuilding suspension, if I'm in the suspension unit, it ties directly into it. If I'm in the brake unit, I can use that. But a majority of that project gets put together, in the auto club. But there are some times when I can tie it into classroom time if it pertains to what I'm teaching. But like I had said, that this project car, or Spartan Garage's raffle car, that started back in 2005-06, and it's been going ever since. It's self-sustaining now, but it's a huge benefit to have something like that, because the students get to have the passion of working on something that's classic, but seeing all the systems work together. And then the first time they get to start the car, when we have the new motor in it, or the freshly rebuilt motor, and it's the smiles you get, you can't replace that. It's pretty awesome. What's next? Well, I did say when I started, jokingly, we would find a Dukes of Hazzard car, Charger, 68, 9, or 70. But as any car enthusiast knows, those are hard to come by. But if you guys see behind us, don't know how, don't know why, but we were able to obtain a 1970 Dodge Charger, and numbers matching, so it's really sweet. We already have it registered. It's going to be the following year's car, but it was like one of the iconic cars from the past that I'll be able to tie into what we're working on in class. Like right now, before Christmas break, we're doing engine parts, and we're getting ready to pull the motor out of this car because it's going to be rebuilt. So it ties right in. It helps us have something here that we could take apart, and we can come back to it the next day. A lot of times when we work on, staff's car, they have to be, unless we make arrangements, they got to be done about the same day. You want to go home. I feel being recognized as the Instructor of the Year, it's a very prestigious nomination. It makes you feel kind of good that you're making a difference, and I don't know, I went into teaching back in 2017 and started here in 2020, and the job came up to go into teaching, and I said, you know what, how hard could it be? Let alone I started at Syracuse City, and it was very, very interesting start. I stuck with it. This opportunity came up, and it's definitely a lot harder than I ever imagined, but the hands-on is how a lot of these kids love to learn.
His friends told me that Mike has been working with his hands and taking things apart since he was about 5 years old, always putting them back together again better than he found them. His father said that Mike's technical and mechanical prowess has never ceased to amaze him. Here's what I was told. When Mike was 7 and I had an issue with my Corvette's dash, and I was ready to take it in, he went out and took the whole thing apart and brought me out to show me exactly what was wrong. I thought he was crazy, but when he put everything together, it all worked. Each year, ESM Spartan Garage builds or rebuilds a car or truck and raffles it off. They've done a number of different unique builds, including this year's 1972 Plymouth Barracuda, last year's 1951 Dodge B3B pickup, a 1933 Factory 5 hot rod, a 63 Buick Wildcat, and many others. The students work together to plan a budget, order parts, and work the build. Tickets are sold internationally, and this annual raffle gets a whole lot of attention. The learning experience is unparalleled, and the process funds the next project. You can learn more at spartangarage.org. Now, Mike, on behalf of all of us at Babcock's Media, Tomorrow's Technician, NACAT, and of course our friends at Blaster Corporation, congratulations. You're one of our 6 finalists for the National Instructor of the Year Award to be named in May. For the past several years, we've been telling the stories of amazing automotive and technology instructors like Michael Edmunds through our Instructor of the Year program. We've had some amazing candidates, and we're excited to showcase even more. But who's next? Look for several more profiles of deserving teachers over the next few months before we announce our grand prize winner in May. If you know a worthy candidate who deserves to be considered for recognition by Tomorrow's Technician, NACAT, and Blaster Corporation, tell us his or her story by visiting tomorrowstechnician.com, opening the Contest tab, and filling out the simple Instructor of the Year form today. I can't wait to hear your story too. I'm Doug Kaufman. Thanks for everything you do.